Orleans Parish Prison. I done committed my share of crimes inside Orleans Parish and inside New Orleans, around New Orleans. I did enough dirt growing up, but I was always blessed, and I use the word blessed with a big old emphasis, y'all, to never have been arrested or caught a case in New Orleans. And Lord knows that I would have been guilty if they would have brought me to trial in New Orleans for a lot of things growing up. But I just never got caught. And I did some bad stuff that could have caught me a lot of time in New Orleans. I caught all my cases outside, right outside of New Orleans in Jefferson Parish mostly. And I'm about to play this video, and it's going to give you a glimpse into Orleans Parish Prison. I personally know a whole bunch of people who have served time in Orleans Parish. I know the stories. I chopped it up. So the stories I've heard is just crazy. Way back in the day when they had Tent City, I know people who did some time in Tent City. I know I have, including family members, like I said before, my brother did time in juvenile in New Orleans and CYC. And so I know a bunch of people who done time as juvies and CYC, and all you did all day long was fight. Fight, 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 fight. Open the floor, fight. Open the floor, fight. That's all you did. And if you wasn't going to fight, then you was going to be done. And of course, my people held it down and they fought. But I know some other dudes. I know people who have lost their lives. Personally, friends of mine who have died or have been harmed inside Orleans Parish Prison. I also know a dude, he went crazy in Orleans Parish Prison. He ain't had nothing to do except turn cockroaches into pets. The dude literally went so crazy to where he turned cockroaches into pets, and he had a bunch of them, and he used to keep them in milk cartons. And that's what some of the people would tell me about my boy. They'd be like, man, your boy's, he crazy white boy, man. Had all them cockroaches, man, getting the baby roaches up in his milk crates, man. Dude was nuts. And so it'll drive you crazy in Orleans Parish Prison. Like I said, I was always blessed never to catch a case out of there. But we're going to watch this video and look inside Orleans Parish Prison.
Orleans Parish Jail has been under fire for incidents involving its inmates. Back in 2009, Arthur Johnson escaped from the jail and was on the run for 3 weeks, even recorded a video of him.
People are so brazen on the stuff they do. This dude was escaped out of jail. See, when this incident happened, I remember they were going in and out of the jail. Like they were escaping, but they were going back before count and before the next morning when the shift workers would do a full count, so they knew how to get past the system and come in and out of the prison. So they were escaping for a little while and then coming back. And my man had the cell phone footage of him on Bourbon Street. And if you know, Bourbon Street isn't very far away from the parish jail in New Orleans, right there on Tulane. So it's not far at all. So this dude's out there stunting in front of police, kind of rubbing in their face. They were going to take it personal. I don't know how much time this dude's caught. I'm assuming he's upstate.
Street before being captured. Johnson was also involved in an incident in 2013 in which multiple videos of him and other inmates recorded inside the jail were released. The inmates could be seen using illegal.
Wait, here's the thing. I see illegal narcotics in prison a lot. I see shanks inside jails and prisons a lot. I've seen shanks and I've seen illegal narcotics. But I'm going to tell you something I ain't never seen an inmate have in prison. You about to see it right here. That's a heater.
Brandishing a loaded gun and using cell phones. No jail.
Right there. My man they in there rolling dice. They got cash. I seen cash in prison. Ain't nothing new. I seen buku cash in prison. But I ain't never seen nobody with a hammer, with a strap.
He looked like he just robbed the dice game.
It looked like he's on the street. Yeah. He's little man, get back, And then he's racking back. He's racking back the chamber, and you see rounds coming out.
He's masked up too.
He's masked up, and so this dude's in there, man. And look, best believe one thing: if you ever caught a case and you went in Orleans Parish, you wouldn't want to be in this. The only way you would put you in this cell is if you just. I'm sure all these dudes are from the same neighborhood. They from 7th Ward, 9th Ward. I don't know where they from, but they all from the same place, and so they all linked up together. Because it can get bad, if you're not from some. They had a dude I heard talking about on a prison interview channel, and he was from New York, and he had done time in Orleans Parish, and he was telling them cats in New York, man, them little youngsters in New Orleans are wild. I think in the video, it's one of the most intense, interviews I ever heard. And the dude from New York was like, man, them little dudes had heaters in there. That's what he said. He said there's straps inside the jail, real live with rounds, with ammunition. He's like, man, each one of these dudes had 5 or 6 bodies, out on the street. So they're playing with some dangerous people. In Orleans Parish Prison, period, The leadership in New Orleans is terrible, terrible. Mayor Cantrell is useless. The sheriff that she brought in, Kirkpatrick, I ain't giving her no credit neither because she came from California, and you see what's happening in California. They want to take people from California and send them down here to the South to bring that same failed policy and same garbage can policing that they have over there and think it's going to work. It doesn't work there. Why do you think it's going to work here? And so the system is broken. And you know what they're going to wind up doing? Electing another idiot for mayor and another idiot for sheriff in Orleans Parish. The people in New Orleans, it's on y'all. Y'all make the bad choices to keep hiring the same and voting in the same type of people over and over and over and over again, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Aren't y'all tired of hiring the same type of people? In New Orleans, the people in New Orleans, y'all just foolish. This is stupid. There's no reason this should be going on.
Employees were fired or charged in that case. Not the first time the Orleans.
So Orleans Parish Prison is not a good place. Like I said, it's a bad place. I know a lot of dudes, like I said, who done time there. I'm blessed enough not to have done time there. I'm glad. If you come to New Orleans and you think you're going to act up, think twice, especially if you're going to catch a bad case, something that's going to lock you up for a while. Now, if you get caught, drinking in public, it's going to be aggravating. You might go sit in the drunk tank or the holding tank for, 2 or 3 days or something, but you're going to get out. But you do not want to come down here and catch no real case, because you might sit in the parish jail for 2 or 3 years before you go to trial. Do you really want to sit in the parish jail for 2 or 3 years in Louisiana? In Orleans Parish, it's dirty, it stinks. The dudes who are from there, they run the prisons. The guards don't care. They're incompetent. It's full of rats and roaches. Food is moldy and bad. Just don't commit no crime. Better yet, stay out of New Orleans. New Orleans is his own worst enemy. The leadership in New Orleans is terrible. It's horrible, terrible. Leadership in New Orleans, y'all are terrible. Y'all are useless. Man, that's all I got to say about that. Get the pin in the shank and like and subscribe. Let's get it.